Hi, my name is Jeff Beltz, and I wanted to take this time to thank you for hiring our office for your legal needs. The real purpose behind this video is to make sure that you understand exactly what it is that we're going to be doing for you, and we put you in a position of strength to help us out as your case progresses through the court system. What I've found through my 10 years of practice is that the only way an attorney can really be effective and be considered good is when they have good clients. And so we want to try to accomplish that in small ways every day throughout our office. And so this is one more example of how we try to do that here at the Beltz Law Firm. So I'm going to kind of outline what your goals and expectations should be going forward so that you understand that. And if you have any questions, feel free to call our office to discuss them further. So let's get right into the heart and soul of how the case proceeds from here. Now, if you're watching this, you've got our new client appreciation email, and it asks you to click on the link to hear this message from me. And it outlines the basic goals and expectations of our office. And so first off, communication. Everything breaks down if you and my office do not have good communication. Where I've seen people get off track in my office is where they hire us and then they kind of fall off the face of the earth and we never hear from them again. And then 6 months later, after their case has been closed out, they're calling me going, "Hey, what happened to that case? I never heard from you." Okay, so just don't be that type of client. We don't appreciate it. Your money's wasted at that point. Make sure you take advantage of all the services that we have in place to help you. But you have to take a proactive role in order for us to do that. So communication, the way it happens through our office is once you sign up, you get access to your case file. More access than probably any other office in the Dallas Metroplex area. You're allowed to see documents, read over them, ask questions, so that you play an active role in understanding the processes that take place once we get started. So another thing about communication that you need to understand is that written communication trumps everything in my office. If you get a written communication, all we ask is that you read it. Read over it, make sure you understand it, and if you have questions about it, you can communicate with us in a few different ways to make sure to get those questions across. In the My Case portal, any document that we upload, you're allowed to put comments on that document. And a lot of times, that's the best way that I communicate with my clients is they'll leave me a comment on a document and then I respond back with an answer. If that works for you, I'd ask that you do that because, again, that creates a string of communication between you and our office that we can always look back to and go, oh, okay, well, here's the history of that file. Phone conversations will never trump, in my office, something that's in writing. Okay, and there's a reason behind that. A lot of times, clients sometimes just hear what they want to hear. And that's what we're always battling against as lawyers, you know. How do we communicate this the best way for you to understand it? And so when we have clients that say, well, you told me this, or I heard this over the phone, we want to make sure that we can go point you to something that says, no, this is exactly what we said and what we meant. And the best way I've found to do that in order to make sure that the goals and expectations are outlined as succinctly as possible is to put everything in writing. That way it's out there. That way you can always point to it and go, this is what you told me, this was in writing, and this is what I expected. Okay, it holds us to a higher standard, and it allows you to have something to look back on to grade us by. And so phone conversations are important, but they will never take the place of written communications in our office. Okay, so make sure you read over any written communication you receive from us, comment on that document or on that message or whatever it is, and then I'll get back with you, or one of the other paralegals or attorneys will get back with you with regard to any questions that you have. Okay, another thing that's important to understand as a new client is you play an active role in the success of your case. And that's true for any case in the law. If you do not play a proactive role in your case, more than likely the outcome of that case is not going to be as good as it could be. So if you have questions, ask. If something changes in your case, let us know. If you have pictures or video or documentation that you could get to us that would help us present your case in the best light, get it to us. Help us help you. With that proactive approach, you're going to make sure that you take advantage of every opportunity for us to either have your case dismissed or make sure to keep it off your record. Where I see clients get in trouble is they hire our office, they don't communicate with us, they don't provide us with the documentation that we need, and that puts us in a position of weakness in front of a prosecutor. An example I can give you is, let's say we have a client with no inspection, no registration, no insurance, and they take no effort to get those things fixed or to get the documentation to us to show that they've been fixed. They don't communicate with us to tell us whether or not they need a reset to get more time to get that fixed. And then I'm sitting in front of a prosecutor and the prosecutor goes, does this person even care about their case? And I'm sitting there going, I don't know. You know, don't put me in that position. Make sure that if you don't have the documentation, I know why. Make sure if you're going to get it to me, I know when. And so take that proactive approach. Help me help you in that sense, okay? Expectations. Expectations are another part of a case that are very important to good attorney-client relationships. Where relationships have gone south in my office with clients are where a client has completely unreasonable expectations about what it is that I do for them. My job is to make sure that we save you as much money as possible and still protect your record if that's possible. And hopefully at the end of the day we get your cases dismissed. Okay? But I am not a magician. I don't carry around a magic wand that magically makes cases disappear. That is not what we do in our office. Our service has two parts to it. One is education. We want to have smart clients. We want to make sure that the client understands all their options. We want to make sure that they know all the available possibilities on their case so that they can guide us in the right direction, because ultimately it's the client that makes the decisions in their case. When we have educated clients that understand the processes and the procedures, then they can better point us in the direction that they want to go. Okay. The second part of that is of our service is making sure that we effectuate the client's goals and expectations. We make sure to try to reach those goals and expectations. Okay. So let me give you an example of what unreasonable goals and expectations are in our office. If you pay our office to take care of a traffic ticket, you should not think that that's automatically going to grant you a dismissal, or that we're going to be able to take that case all the way up to the Supreme Court of Texas and back. Okay? Our fees in this office are kept at a very minimal amount in order to be able to help more people. All right. Normally we only charge anywhere from $75 to $250 on cases that we're handling of this type. And so the budget is very limited, and there's always going to be a limit to the amount of services that are going to be able to be provided for that amount of an attorney fee. I mean, because after all, in Dallas, the average attorney fee for an attorney in this area is anywhere from $250 to $350 an hour. So we're well below that. And that's okay. We want to remain well below that so that we can help people with these types of cases. But make sure that your goals and expectations with regard to the amount that you paid are in line with that service. Okay, so if you need a case to go all the way up to the Supreme Court of Texas and back, don't think that that $75 is going to be enough to do that. We do provide those services, but at a higher rate. What the $75 will get you out of our office is usually a pretrial setting where I go in, review all the evidence, see what they have against you. If the evidence isn't enough to convict you of the offense, then I'm requesting dismissal. If it is, then normally what I do is I'll accept the best possible recommendation on that day to make sure that your record is protected, your insurance rates aren't affected, things like that. If I can't accomplish that, then normally what I'm doing is resetting your case in order to put the ball back in your court and say, hey, look, we've got a really tough situation here. Here are your options. What do we want to do? Okay, so those are the types of things that you can expect reasonably to happen in our office. So if your goals and expectations are in line with that, you're on the right track. If they're not, give us a call. Let us know. Let us know that, hey, I want to take this to trial. I don't want to settle this thing. Or I may need to appeal this if I lose. My job's on the line. That way we can put our services in line with those goals and expectations and give you a reasonable outlook on what it would actually cost for you to take it to that next level if you need to. Okay, so goals. When you hire my office, the very first thing that we do after getting your basic information is we want to outline your goals. What are your goals? And that's basically the same as your expectations. What do you want to have happen? What's a successful outcome for you in this case? And I have my staff write that down on your file. And that goal follows your file around until your case is closed. And so if I go into court and I see your goal and I can't accomplish that, what I want to do is reset the case and tell you why. Okay? And so it's important for me to know, to do a good job, what your goals actually are. And so make sure that you outline your goals and expectations in the beginning with one of my staff members, one of the paralegals that signed you up, so that I know that, so that I can try to accomplish that goal for you. Okay? Fees. Again, the fees are important. I talked a little bit about it. Don't think that $75 is going to take you all the way up to the Supreme Court and back again. If you need extra services, of course we provide them. I don't want you to think that we don't, okay? But there's a certain level that $75 is only going to cover, and anything outside of that, just let me know, and we'll outline a game plan to make sure that we meet your goals and expectations and set a fee that's appropriate for that. Now, our terms of service can be found on our website. If you go to beltzlaw.com, which I have right here, and you scroll all the way down, well, if you're on the home page when you get there, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, down here you'll see these links, and the link on the very far right hand side is the terms of service. Okay, so if ever you have a question about what we're going to provide to you for the amount of fees that you paid or what you should expect, you can always come here, read over it, and go, hey Jeff, you said that I was going to get this service for this amount of fee. That wasn't provided to me. Or, yeah, that's exactly what I expected. You know, those types of things will be covered in this terms of service, and so it's always there available to you if you need to see it. So read over that if you get a chance. Any questions or issues that you have with the service that we're providing, I need to know about, so make sure that that you let me know. Another thing that you need to realize is I've got really good staff members that work for me at the Beltz Law Firm, and I train them every day to make sure that they care about you more so than anything else that they do. We're not in the business of trying to appease courts or prosecutors at the expense of our clients. We go through training sessions all the time to make sure that they understand that we put you, the client, first. Just make sure in return for that you're taking a proactive role in your case to help us accomplish those goals for you, because we really are on your side. I promise you that. So again, welcome aboard. Thanks for hiring the Beltz Law Firm, and call us with any questions you have. We'd be happy to answer them for you.